Good morning, guys. Wednesday morning here at the shop. Getting an early start to today. It's like 9 a.m. and we have had DTF printer number 1 going for a pretty good amount of time so far because we have a huge order that has to get printed today. So we have the other file being ripped for DTF printer number 2. We're actually going to split the file 50-50 and run it on both printers at the same time. Because when we calculated it from Digital Factory, the file was going to take 16 hours if it was just going on one printer. So we had to separate it, and now we're going to be, I guess, lucky if we can finish it today with both printers running before we have to get all the packages dropped off to UPS. And on top of this, we don't just have this order to print. So we have to get this order printed, and then we also have like 4 or 5 other orders that have to be printed and shipped today as well, as per our standard turnaround time. Same day turnaround time if you guys order before 12 and next day after 12. And last night we got like 4 or 5 different orders. And then there's a couple orders on Etsy that we have to fulfill. So I'm really hoping this doesn't take the full 8 hours. There's a couple reasons why I kind of think it won't. So typically when we calculate it, it's calculating as if it were doing a full width pass on each pass. However, as you guys can see here, the way we have this file set up, we're kind of not using all of the space. So we're only actually printing 16 inches of width versus a normal width would be 22 inches of print area. So we're saving a little bit by not having the printer have to go make full width strokes each different pass, which at least I don't know how long that's going to save us in the end. Like I said, it's calculated to take us 8 hours, but that's based on if we were doing full strokes. So since it's not, I'm hoping that like it takes 25% less time. That would be pretty ideal. That would give us more than enough time that we need to get all of the orders printed on the 2 printers and packaged and shipped before the cutoff time for UPS. So that's what I'm banking on. I don't know for sure. Things are looking pretty good actually so far. We're already at 6.3%, and I was kind of expecting us to only be at like 3 or 4%. So we're making decent progress. The print has been running for, what time is it actually? So probably about 40 minutes, 36 to 40 minutes. The print has been running, and we'll just let that guy go. DTF printer number 1 came online really easily today. However, DTF printer number 2 was giving us a little bit more trouble with the nozzles. I actually just run a fresh nozzle or a fresh head cleaning, and I just did a nozzle check, and unfortunately we're still dealing with a little bit of problems. So as you guys can see here on the magenta, still have a lot of bars missing. The yellow, a giant missing, giant chunk. And the black is better than the other ones, but it's still not perfect. So these are all of the head cleanings that I have run this morning, just trying to get the printer in working order. So it's going to be another head cleaning on this guy for sure before we can get started running the job on number 2. Number 2 is being a little bit more tricky today. But it's good that we have at least number 1 up and running and can get that guy started. So today's going to be a busy day for sure. We have a lot of prints to print. I also want to go live on TikTok a little bit later. So I think I'm going to end up going live around like 1:30, 2 o'clock. So we'll see how the day progresses. I have a lot of stuff that I also want. I have a lot of stuff that I also want to get done on the computer. I want to finish and publish the ebook that I've been working on the past couple of days, weeks, and get that guy going because I have it all finished. Last night I was working at home trying to get some of the just final touches on, making sure that everything is like spaced correctly. Especially I was checking it out on Michaela's Kindle because I also want to kind of release this as like a Kindle version in case those of you who are big into reading on your Kindles would like to read it this way. Everything actually turned out much better than I was expecting on that front. I was kind of, because I had to convert from the document to, like I downloaded it in a PDF from Google Docs, and then I had to convert that into the file that Kindles like, which is Mobi or EPUB. So I converted it, and I was a little worried that the conversion was going to make everything all wonky and change the margins, change the spacing, because there was also images included in the ebook. So I was a little worried about that, but I checked it out last night and everything actually turned out pretty good. It was like all just like it worked. So that was surprising. I'm going to get everything all fleshed out with that. I still have to build the actual landing page that people can go to actually download and get the ebook. It's not going to be something that is, so you can pay for it if you'd like. Otherwise, you could just enter your email and information in, and then you can get a free copy on our website. So we're going to try and do a release like that where you can choose whichever way fits for you, if you would like to give us your data or if you would like to actually pay for it. Those two models, whichever you're interested in. So I got a lot of computer work to get done. Pot of coffee is almost done brewing. I also have the tennis match on in the background. Rafael Nadal is back. He's getting beat. First set. So it's going to be a good morning. Keep that on in the background. Start getting everything all wrapped up with the ebook, working on that landing page, and most importantly, make sure DTF printer number 2 gets up, and then just making sure the prints look good as they're printing. So I started another head cleaning before I walked away. Hopefully by the time I get back there, it's all done and I can do a nozzle check, see what the status of those nozzles are. All right guys, good bit of time has passed, 2:10 right now. I finished up the ebook, got everything that I wanted to write for that in there, got all of the images all formatted, everything good to go. There was a couple formatting issues that I was running into when I was actually saving them as the individual file types, but I was able to get everything all figured out. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm really excited to get this out there and see what you guys think, get your guys' feedback on it. But I'll give you guys a little bit of a taste. So this is going to be the cover for it. The title of the ebook is Make Your Own T-Shirts at Home, the definitive guide, the last guide that you'll ever need. And so it's a very in-depth ebook, kind of talking about basically all of the major print methods that you should consider if you're looking to make some t-shirts yourself at home. So I'll just show you a little bit of the table of contents so you guys can see if this is something that you guys would be interested in. The camera doesn't want to keep focus for some reason. But yeah, the print methods that we talk about are DTF transfers, screen print transfers, screen printing directly, vinyl, sublimation, transfer printer paper like those inkjet like pieces of paper that you can put on like dark or light fabrics, whatever, white toner transfers, and last but not least, embroidery. So throughout the entire ebook, I'm going to be kind of talking about the ins and outs of each different printing method. And these are the ones that I identified coming from a home printer. Like that's how we got started. We were literally just printing out of our house, out of our garage. So these are the options that came up to me and that I thought were the most important to talk about in the ebook. And the big thing with all of this is when I was doing my research for this topic, all of the other ones were just straight ads. I think I mentioned this in a previous video if you guys missed that. But all of the ones that were basically talking about how to print t-shirts at home were ads from the company that happens to be writing the blog post. So if the company who wrote the blog post sells vinyl, they're going to be telling you that vinyl is the best way to decorate t-shirts at home. So they were not unbiased, to say the least. There was tons of biases throughout each of the different articles. So I did my very best. I tried as hard as I could to take any biases out of the ebook when I was writing it. And I'm sure it's not going to be perfect, but again, I did my very best to try and actually give you guys the breakdown on which print method is going to be the best. But then I also just gave you straight up the pros and cons for each one to kind of let you make your own decision and come up to the reality that you're looking to for whatever you're looking to make, I should say, whatever your business is, whatever t-shirts you're looking to make. So again, this is like, you don't have to pay for this or anything. It's going to be a free ebook. You can request it on the website. If you guys are interested, I should say. I still have some work to do actually on the landing page, so it's not available just yet, but I'm really happy that I was able to get the final touches put on the ebook, and I'm calling this done for right now. I sent it over to Michaela. She had a couple of inputs that I should go ahead and actually make those adjustments to, and then after that I will probably end up calling the ebook done, and I just need to really focus on getting that landing page all set up. But that's what I did this afternoon. Finished that up, and then I also did some work in SEMrush. So we have had a couple of errors been piling up on amstransfers.com that I got fixed. They were pretty simple things like duplicate meta descriptions, duplicate page content, and those were my fault at the end of the day. So I got all of that stuff fixed. and also took a look at the www transfers domain. That domain also has a good bit more of issues. The AMS transfers only had 34 errors that I needed to fix, and I got all of those fixed today. But the www transfers one had like 224 errors, and basically all of them were the duplicate meta descriptions, because we haven't been changing those freaking meta descriptions when we're creating new products. So that's going to take a little bit more time. I'm going to have to go through all of those pages and write meta descriptions for each of them, make sure each of them are unique to the product, to the page, whatever it is. And we can fix all of those errors pretty quick. They're not anything that big. I also had a little bit of time to dive into the market analysis within SEMrush, so it's very powerful. I hadn't actually known about this, that I get it included with my plan. I always kind of thought it was something that I was going to have to pay more for, and it's the SEMrush trends. So for most of it, you do have to pay an additional $200, and that's basically on top. I think I pay $160 a month for SEMrush as it is, just for the SEO stuff. But I was able to get some of the actual nuggets of information. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. So it basically shows me a whole bunch of different market data. This is the Market Explorer tool within SEMrush, so I can go ahead and type in a few competitors and get the actual data on what the search traffic, the market size, how much it would cost to acquire all of the traffic if I were to do it through paid ads. And then this is kind of like what they call the growth quadrant. And I'll go ahead and put this here. For those of you interested, you can pause the video and read that. So it includes a whole bunch of different really useful market information, kind of market dynamics, as they say, and tells you about each of the different domain competitors that you enter in. So the big thing, though, that I was really interested in is this one down here, this graph that says market traffic. So as you can see throughout the year, it's all pretty predictable. A little bit of a slump during December for the holiday season, for the holidays, I should say. You have Christmas and New Year's, so December is typically a little bit slower. But then it picked back up in January and February. But then right here, if you go to March, you can see this fairly large decline, especially if you consider it over the 6-month period here in March. And if you guys missed the This Sucks video that I posted, you know that March was a pretty tough month for us and our business. So being able to see here that we were literally not the only ones, it was not something that we were doing. It was just really broader market trends. And that's just the trend being March was a slow month for everyone in the market. For example, look at this. There was 566 searches for the domains that I entered, the competitors that I entered. And then in March, that dropped to 429. So basically 130,000 less searches for these terms, these domains, these competitors, just in March. So that's good to see that we're not the only ones. And if you look at here, the prediction for April, they are also predicting that April is going to be a decent month, which is what we're seeing here, reflected in our sales and our numbers. April's actually looking really good for us. Things have really picked up in the past couple of days. As you can see, we have this huge order that we have to get printed, and that's just on top of it. That's like the cherry on top. We've just had a pretty successful April so far, and I'm really happy that everything has turned around from March, because March was pretty gloomy. But seems like things are making a turnaround. I don't know what it is, because this hasn't typically happened before in March in our business. So March hasn't been a slow month. So this one coming out of nowhere was a little interesting. I do wonder if it could have been like spring break, people out of school for spring break, on holiday, whatever it is, that kind of thing. But anyways, I'm glad to see that April's improving. I thought that was really interesting, actually seeing the data for it just being a slow month in March. But yeah, came out here, DTF printers are still running strong. We did end up getting DTF printer number 2 up and going. Probably around 10 a.m. today we got this guy up. So DTF printer number 2 is at 77%. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get that. And then DTF printer number 1 is at 88%. These have been going really well. We haven't run into any problems. Knock on wood, this isn't even wood. but we still have all of the other orders that came in to get printed. So once these guys get finished up, they have some more work to do before we can end out the day and get everything packaged up. So I think what I'm actually going to do is go live on TikTok and just kind of set up the camera showing the DTF printers running, answer any questions that people have, try and get some followers, try and get some customers. I've really been enjoying doing the TikTok lives. They've been pretty successful the past couple times I've done them. So we're just gonna keep it going until it stops, I guess. Just try and milk it for what we can. We've probably each time done it gotten at least 70 followers from it. And yeah, we're gonna keep the train going. I'm gonna get everything set up for it. I have to use Michaela's phone because she has USB-C, and the microphone that I use plugs into a USB-C port. So I'll use her phone to do the TikTok live. I want to try and shoot for like an hour and a half, but I am getting a late start. I scheduled it from 2 to 3:30 and it's already 2:20, so I'm 20 minutes behind schedule. I'm gonna put the camera down and get to it. 4:37, wrapped up that live at about, what was it, probably 3 o'clock? No, when did I do it? Did I finish it at 4? I can't even remember, man. It's been quite the day. Right now, actually, Michaela is getting DTF printer number 1 cut and cured. So she's just getting all of the film ran through the oven so that we can get them powdered and cured. And then after that, we got to get them packaged up. We started packaging up the one order. We had to use one of the bigger boxes that we don't typically use because this person ordered a ton of transfers. We are super grateful. But I gotta get this fixed right here. Make sure that doesn't keep bunching up like that. But yeah, we still have a little bit longer on DTF printer number 2. This guy is at 65%, 66%, and then we will be good to go on this guy, get it cut and finished up. All right, guys, 5:20 right now. Just finishing up the last of DTF printer number 2, getting all of these guys all cured, and then we can package up the last order and head on over to UPS. We just got another huge order placed like a couple of minutes ago, so that's gonna have to go out tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be a busy day. We have a lot of screen print transfer orders that have to be printed, and now we have this huge DTF order that also has to be printed. So it's going to be another heavy day for the 2 printers, and I'm going to have to make sure that we're on our money tomorrow because we got a lot of work to do. So we're going to get those guys all finished up, take them over to UPS, and then that's going to be it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you made it this far, hit the subscribe button if you guys aren't already. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like down below and comment any questions that you guys have, and I'll see you in the next video.